So today's video, we're going to be talking about some comments that was on a previous video about if the character's ki increase whenever they're firing like a ki blast. Now, yes, to answer that question, it does increase. Now, as we see in the series, and we go back to the beginning of the Z portion of the series, where we have Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz. Now, in this matchup, Goku and Piccolo are no match for Raditz. He's far stronger than them when they arrive to fight him. Even with them teamed up, they're still outclassed. And a couple other factors played in this matchup, like Gohan, of course. Gohan being able to damage Raditz and pretty much let them get an advantage to defeat him. But the main thing is that once Goku and Piccolo started to charge up their attacks, Goku's prepared to fire off his Kamehameha, and Piccolo's ready to fire his special beam cannon. We see that Raditz is like scanning their power levels and seeing that their powers are increasing. Now, some people are saying that they was just, suppressing their power. Yes, at first, but as we can see, they power already raised from the time being from when Goku threw off his weights so he can get quicker, so he can get stronger to fight his brother. And I'm sure at this point he's not going to be holding back any more power. So if he had access to the power level that he had with firing off his ki attack, he would already use that to fight Raditz and get a better advantage on him. Now, the other thing to this is that when these characters are charging up the ki attack, their power level increases because they're concentrating and harnessing all that power into one. In Piccolo's case, he's pretty much concentrating a whole bunch of ki to his fingertips to make a devastating, precise attack that's going to pretty much pierce the enemy and pretty much destroy them. Now, Goku also the same thing, where he would be charging up his ki attack, and it depends on how much power that's being input into this. Now, there's two things to look at when you're looking at ki attacks. When these fighters, especially in Dragon Ball's case, because as we see as the series progresses, these characters get stronger and stronger. What you have to realize is that these characters are already able to destroy planets since early Z. And even in Dragon Ball, we've seen these characters destroy the moon. So for these characters with the power that they have now, from the things that we've seen in Super, GT, even the end of Z, they can easily destroy planets if they don't have their power somewhat in control and condensed. Now, as the ki attacks work, it depends on probably like how condensed the energy is to see what type of destruction that's being made, because in other cases, if they didn't have any control, every little ki blast would have probably just destroy a planet from them just blasting out those attacks. So they're pretty much also controlling, these different keys. Now, another aspect is to look at is that the power that they're inputting into this thing, because it's like there's a certain amount of energy that they put in. But let's say if they want to do an attack like Vegeta's final explosion, or when Cell decides to blow himself up, it's a little bit different, because now you're pretty much putting like your full life force into these attacks. And that's what kind of happened with Tien in his battle against Nappa, where he pretty much inputted so much of his life force into his final attack to try to take on Nappa. He ended up losing his life in the process. So those are other aspects that you got to look at it when it comes to these ki. But by them concentrating all that energy into that spot, it's making it seem like their power is increasing because of how much energy is being output into that, which in that sense is not really like they're blasting just their regular power at a person when they're using these ki attacks. So it can increase whatever power they have to a certain extent, not that much to the point where they can just put out as much ki as they want to be stronger than another opponent, but pretty much enough to make, like, depending on how powerful they want that ki attack to be. As we can look at through the series with different fights, we've seen this happen with, like I said, Raditz was the first person to see this, where someone like Piccolo is able to take him out even though he's weaker than Nappa. Than Raditz at this time. Now, we also seeing this the same thing with Vegeta being able to pretty much destroy half of Perfect Cell's body when he fires his final flash. Now, you got to remember, Vegeta's way weaker than Perfect Cell at this point. And same thing with Goku. Goku, when he does his instant transmission Kamehameha and blow off the top portion of Cell, Goku is still weaker than Cell, but that still gave him enough to do damage to Cell. So these are all different aspects that you just have to take into account and take a, pretty much when you're watching these, battles and understanding like the key that these characters have. And yes, there's a lot of plot holes as well when it comes to Dragon Ball, but overall, if they was to just fight with their power untamed, everything will be destroyed pretty much at this point, which is the reason why in Super, when Goku versus Beerus, and they was causing shockwave throughout the universe, but this doesn't happen anymore with people like, Goku versus Jiren in the Tournament of Power, things to that nature, where they're like, way stronger at this point. Why wasn't Goku causing shockwaves with Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan Blue? Because everything is condensed and controlled. And so there's just these key factors that you have to look at when you're looking at things dealing with ki. So yes, your power does increase when you're firing off a huge ki attack. So if a character like, Goku is firing off a full power Kamehameha, that's something different. Or, Vegeta firing his Gallic Gun when he's battling Goku on Earth, and knowing the destruction of that, if he was to win, it would destroy Goku, even if Goku is stronger in his Kaioken form. So these are all things just to take into account when you're looking at this thing. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that's coming. We got some couple more updates on Dragon Ball Daima that's coming out, and Tenkaichi for Sparking Zero. So stay tuned.